What's going on, guys? This is Kaishro. Welcome back. So we are back with another video. So in this video, we're going to cover OCG Metagame Report and decklist reviews from March 1 to March 10. So 10 days span of tournament data gathering from Southeast Asian regions, namely Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Vietnam, to name a few. No? So we are going to cover the last pair of the Alliance Insight format that we have for the January 2025 limit regulation that will soon come into a close. From the upcoming deck build Justice Hunters, that will be the new set for us, and also the upcoming ban list this coming 3rd or 4th week of March, if I not mistaken. No. So moving forward, we do have Rogue's Passage weekly tournament. We do have Champion Michael Cannon, our friend from Duelist tabletop community, with his Blue Eyes Primate. Pretty unusual side decking pattern for Michael. It is playing 3 evenly matched and 3 Ultimate Slayer. Huge emphasis on going second. And I want to highlight the evenly matched, even though this card was not really played much in bigger regions, namely Japan, South Korea, and China. No, the recent tournaments from the big events of Battle Nexus Campus League tournaments in Southeast Asian regions have proven that evenly matched can still be pivotal on going second. And I do think that evenly matched can still out one of the bigger variants of rogue decks in the Philippines environment. So I think evenly matched still decent on some occasions. And moving on next, we have Edwin. Oh, they are running the same deck list. Yeah. If I'm not seeing things mistakenly, yeah, they are running the same deck list. Wow. So they are probably testing bodies and really believed on the tendency and capability of their similar deck list. So congrats to the both of them. Shoutouts to our friends in Pampanga. Moving on next, we have Yu-Gi-Oh! Metagame Malang in Indonesia. Champion would be Mementotlan with double Super Poly in the main deck. White iteration from the usual Forbidden Droplet. You don't really see that in large regions. It only happens on smaller regions like us in the sea, no? But good innovation as well. Pretty solid inclusion to counter the potential meta threats like Blue Eyes Primate, no? And also Orcus and Malice. Those decks can be easily swooped by one Super Poly. And next would be runner-up 10 by Dragon. So huge emphasis on going second on the main deck. Lot of board breakers, 3 Droplet, 3 Gordon Schneider, and double Lightning Storm, and even played Duster and Heavy Storm on it. And next would be Dragon Ruler 10 by Wow. So this is what I always like to see in Southeast Asian tournament results. They are pretty unusual, and a lot of people here really thinks outside of the box. They really play what they want and how they view the deck. So like this Dragon Ruler 10 by, very odd to see, but I'm very happy to see a lot of iterations for 10 by Dragon and shying away from the usual 30 card hand trap or 15 board breakers on the main deck, no. So yeah, Dragon Ruler 10 by, really absurd innovation here. 4th place would be Blue Eyes Primate. Triple Nibiru on the main deck, shied away from the usual Foalas or Droll. So I think Nibiru would make a lot of sense on environments where there's a bunch of combo decks and also rogue decks as well. Moving on next to the LU tournament, La Union Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament. Shoutouts to our friends in LU. First would be Poindexter with White Forest. Double Deception. I think the more usual ratio for the Deception would be at 1 on most cases, but some people still play it at 2, and I could see the reasons why. It is still a very good card and good for turn 2, turn 3, turn 4 type of interactions, no? So yeah, it is still sensible to play it at 2. And next would be J, Venson Salgado with Malice. Double falls in the main deck, bunch of 2-offs, no? 2 Imperm, 2 Impulse, 2 Droll, and 2 Foalos. Yeah, really odd ratios, and I think it proved to be effective because the environment in LU doesn't really focuses too much on top tier meta decks. There's a bunch of decks that are running around that could be addressed with this type of ratio of hand traps. Next would be Kenneth Pregoner, another White Forest this time 47 card main deck, if I'm seeing things correctly. Yeah, main deck 1 Lightning Storm. I think I have seen that inclusion as well on South Korea and Taiwan. A lot of them are trying to play White Forest as versatile as going second with Lightning Storm and Droplet sometimes, occasionally, no? But yeah, this is the first time that I am seeing Lightning Storm on the main deck for a Philippines White Forest topping deck list. And moving on next, we do have Evo Community Tournament in Indonesia. First would be Tenpai Dragon. So pretty standard. Yeah, standard. Just play the usual draw power with Flawless and Maxi and bunch of board breakers. Next would be Blue Eyes Primite. Playing Blue Eyes Jet on the main deck. No, I think Blue Eyes Jet is still played on Southeast Asian regions. And I think it could be part of the reason that a lot of people here in Southeast Asia still play stuff like Lightning Storm, Regeki, you know, for example. So yeah, I think it is a way to play around those certain board breakers or destroying cards, no? And next would be Malice. 41 card, short and concise, pretty sensible. Played a code on the main deck and yeah, access code as well. I really forgot how the access code alternate art looks like, but yeah, it looks like this. And next would be Salamangreat. I think we have seen a surge of Salamangreat from the past 2-3 weeks, and mainly to the fact that it is a very budget deck and can still fare against the metagame with high impact counter traps, no? With the Roar and Rage, and of course you have Signet Mining to boost the consistency, and you have like 15 rooms for hand traps on the deck. And you have multiple starters as well, no? Gazelle, Fire, and you can top things off with Lady or the Buffalo. So yeah, really solid deck. Next, we do have Ibam Tambayan Tournament in Iloilo. Shoutouts to our Iloilo friends. First would be Hero from Anthony Generic Apelado. Wow, 52 card Hero. Wow, 52 card Hero. Yeah, he's really cooking something else here. Triple Droplet on the main deck. One of Wallace, probably a cross-out target. And yeah, it is the first time that I've seen Hero at 50 cards. Still played a bunch of the Vision Heroes. And of course, 3 Malicious, no? Yeah, 52 card. And next would be second place, Crystron. Kyle Johnson Gamban. 2 Tidal, I think that's the perfect ratio for Crystron. If you want to run Tidal here, I think it's best at 2. Moving on next, we do have another Iloilo tournament, Ibam Tambayan. Ranking tournament, first would be Finsmith Orcus from Earl Andrew Camara. Triple Caves Hunter, of course. Really sensible to play these because Malice is really strong and it is one of the most popular decks all over Asia right now. And next would be Hugh, Geran, Primate Blue Eyes. Oh yeah, it is playing 2 Dominus Purge and playing 1 of Droll, 1 of Wallace, and 1 of Magnamut on the main deck. And on the side deck, it is playing Spellcaster of the Village. Probably can be utilized with the Ancient Fairy. And yeah, moving on next, we do have Yu-Gi-Oh! Davao Mindanao Gaming Tournament. First would be Prime Cruise, Orcus Finsmith Horus. So, shied away from the usual pure raw Orcus, no? And I think the engine-driven variant is still playable on the meta right now because it allows you to extend, no, with the Horus cards getting towards the early Zombie Vampire or the Finsmith going into your Omni-Negate threats, no? So yeah, it is still sensible, but you lose too much space for non-engines when you do this. But yeah, when you can brute force against the decks out there, no, I think it doesn't matter too much, especially from Prime Cruise winning first place here on this tournament. Second would be Memento from Alfred Zamora. So still play the Goblin Biker tech card for the Memento. Searchable quick play for your Memento Atlan cards. And one of Nibiru double draw and double follows on the main deck, rounding the deck into 42 cards. And yeah, played droplet as well. The more usual Mementotlan deck list would be playing 3 droplet on the main deck, apart from the usual follows and Nibiru. And moving on next, we do have Anymember duelist tournament in Indonesia. First would be White Forest Azamina, 43 card this time, double Nib on the main deck, and yeah, another one that is playing 2 Deception. Maybe we're seeing another uptick of playing 2 Deception on the main deck. And next would be second place Labyrinth Finsmith. It's been a while since I've seen Labyrinth with Finsmith, but I don't see Finsmith cards here on the main deck. Maybe it is played on the side deck. Yeah, potentially. So, Finsmith as a going first engine, not to complement your going first board. Next would be Malice. 1 David, playing 1 of Allure, and triple Bell. Yeah, no stuff like Fualas or Nibiru on the main deck. Instead, played triple Bell. So, really interesting, no? I think Bell can do so much damage against the metagame right now, especially if played on the right environment. But you don't really blind play triple Bell on the main deck without much thought process. But I'm glad that it worked for 1 David. And moving on next, we do have Duelist Dapata ranking tournament. First would be Alex, Malice champion. Played 1 Trust and 1 Talent on the main deck. Kinda compromises the alternative of playing the searchable consistency fathers aside from the usual hand trap lineup of Malice, and still played Shifter but only on 1 copy. Interesting. And also played 1 of Winter Cherries on the side deck. Wow. Just to eliminate the detonator for the Ryzil. And next would be Bang Mamet Ryzil. So it makes sense that he's playing the Winter Cherries just to counter his person. Of course, Ryzil, probably the best deck out there. And this Ryzil is pretty much different. It is playing Sight on the main deck, which we haven't seen in a long time. I think the first 2 months of Ryzil is where the Sight package occurred on the main deck, but it didn't really transcended on the previous months, especially from January and February, no? We didn't see that inclusion often. Next, we do have Orcus Finsmith from Low. Played the Orcus with Finsmith this time, and 1 of Gozen match on the side deck. Pretty logical when you consider that you can play around certain situations where you can just play Dark Monsters and beat the hell out of your opponent. So yeah, Gozen match could really make a difference here. Next would be Wumbo, Ryzil. This time, playing 1 of Lancea, which can be really great when you consider that Orcus is very much played on their environment. And triple dimensional barrier, I don't really see that often on side deck patterns of Ryzil players, especially they can get hurt as well when they call XYZ or Exceed, no? So the more likely going first cards are Judgment and Anti-Spell Fragrance with Summon Limit. So yeah, it is really different for Wumbo. Next would be Yugi-Uto Tulungagung tournament. Top 4 champion would be Dogmatica Regenesis. So this is the old way of playing Regenesis, playing triple Lava Golem. I think the more advanced Regenesis deck profiles on Japan and South Korea are not even playing Lava Golem anymore on the main deck. Instead, they are playing Lightning Storm and sometimes Raigeki. But Lava Golem is still very potent on going second, really devastating when we consider that Ryzil can end on 2 monsters, and a lot of stuff here on the meta decks are ending on Apollousa. So yeah, you can get rid of those problematic monsters. And next would be Malice. 3 follows double Purulia. Didn't opt to play Droll or Nibiru. No respect for the Droll and Nibiru this time. It only sided 1 copy of Nibiru. And triple Book of Moon as well. Really phenomenal against Ryzil. Next would be Orcus Horus. So without Finsmith this time, and we have seen another Orcus with Horus Engine once again, no? So probably this could be a start of something else for Orcus players in C region, whether they would explore the Horus package. But on this deck list, it is not even playing Zombie Vampire. So probably just a way to make Photon Lord going first and protect your board from Nibiru, for example, no, and other interruptions. Next would be White Forest as a Mina. This time with Finsmith. I think this is the more explosive version of White Forest. And moving on next, we do have Aurorus Collections Friday Tournament, Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament. Champion will be Jake Blue Eyes. Standard, but play the Ritual, the Chaos Max. And next would be Blue Eyes Primite without the Chaos Max this time. A more standard build from Respect YGO himself. Shoutouts to Jay, Respect YGO. Thank you for the plethora of informative and good content on his Facebook and YouTube. And next would be Brian. Regenesis Kashtira this time with a Diable Star package. So this is how the Japanese people are playing Regenesis with multiple engines, when you consider that you can make a board with the White Forest and a Diable Star engine on this deck, and lets you provide protection for your Regenesis line of play. And also Kashtira, really a no-brainer engine for the Regenesis. It's just a free summon and another layer of interruption. And moving on next, we do have another Aurorus tournament. Champion would be Jay with his Blue Eyes Primite as well. And still played Typhoon, no? No rooms for Little Knight, I believe. It is not playing Little Knight. And next would be Ja with Brian with his Regenesis, Kashtira, Diabel. And third would be Eldritch from Pau. So playing two of the new support trap card and double anti-spell fragrance, which could hurt the environment that they're playing. They're having Regenesis and the likes of Blue Eyes Primite, which relies on the spells like Mausoleum, of course, and the Regenesis spells. So they could get hurt really bad with this anti-spell fragrance. And what is the name of this Exodia, Black Exodia card on his side deck? Not really sure what is the name of this card, but I know this card is very old, and yeah, it has been a while since I have seen this card. Wow, he's playing this card. Really insane. And moving on next, we do have another Aurorus tournament. Champion would be Nino, White Forest, Diabel Z. So standard White Forest. And next would be Eldritch, another decklist from Pau. This time did not have to play Fragrance on the main deck, and oh my goodness, it is playing Zombie World on the side deck, of course, because you're running the Zombie Field, and also triple Crackdown this time, which is very odd, but could work as a control deck like Eldritch now. Next would be Blue Eyes Primite from Ken, triple Chaos Hunter, and Solemn Warning. Wow, another good tech card here. Yeah, it could work on his environment. This could bring so much value for his going first, apart from the usual Judgment or Strike, for example. And next would be Dueling Nexus tournament in Malaysia, I believe. First would be Rawai champion with White Forest, bunch of White Forest this time, but this time it is playing Snake Eyes. Wow, it is running Snake Eyes. Yeah. And next would be Kim Jim, Evil Twin Finsmith, really successful recently. It has won Campus League tournaments and also the recent Battle Nexus tournaments, no? I believe there are two Evil Twin Finsmith decks that have top on those occasions. And third would be Kyong, Orcus, without Finsmith, and it is playing Gizmek Orochi. Oh my goodness. Yeah, a blast from the past, where Orcus used to play the Gizmek Orochi, but we don't really see that much often recently, and arguably this is the only deck that I have seen that is still running Gizmek Orochi. And fourth of the Chihim playing Malice standard, yeah, but played Phantasmi on the side deck. Of course, they have Orcus and likes of evil twin, no? So the Phantasmi really makes a lot of difference here. Next would be another Dueling Nexus tournament, ranking tournament. First would be Chihim, this time with his Malice, running 3 Solemn Strike on the side deck. Next would be DX Memento. Yeah, no droplet this time on the main deck, instead opted to play Imperm. And next would be Beng, another Orcus with Armageddon Knight. Oh my goodness, he's playing Armageddon Knight. And another Rochi. And we have 4th Chan Yan Hao with Blue Eyes Primite, triple Dominus Purge, and triple Nib on the main deck. And next would be Order, the Duelist in Albay. Shoutouts to our Bicol friends out there. First would be Angela James, Blue Eyes Primite. Pretty standard. It ran the usual Purge and Nibiru package. And triple Meowls on the side. Next would be Salamangreat, another Salamangreat. So it proves to be Salamangreat still a decent contender. Probably as a top tier rogue deck, even though it is not a tiered meta deck. Not even tier D, tier 4 for example, no. But it's still really okay to play Salamangreat as one of the top tier rogue decks out there. And next would be Patrick Burton with White Forest, playing the Tasuku inspired Kashtira engine for White Forest, and it made waves on Japan, and a lot of people have adopted the Kashtira Unicorn and Birth and Paraisos on the White Forest. And next would be Jake Joey, Gem Knights Adamantipator. Wow, interesting. So Gem Knights got really power crept, no? Even though the Gem Knights have been successful in the first 3-4 weeks, first month of Gem Knights, but it lost traction recently due to how other decks have been outperforming the Gem Knights as a whole. And yeah, moving on next to the Akard tournament in Indonesia. First to be dito, White Woods, White Forest, Azamina, Triple Trust, and Double Lightning Storm. And Jahid is playing a pointer of Red Lotus. I wonder how the Trust and a pointer have played towards his advantage. Maybe, just maybe, it could be very pivotal on his victory here. Next would be Adam, Blue Eyes, Ancient Fairy, yeah, playing the Sight on the main deck, and of course the Spore and the Ancient Fairy line. And Triple Simul Archfiend, wow, didn't up to run the D-Barrier because it runs coverage for D-Link monsters. Next would be Zukra, Punk, oh my goodness, Punk, this time with Horus, and played Dogwood and Gorikara. Wow, Gorikara still decent, no? Can blow out the detonator. And next would be Nemo, branded, yeah, branded Albas. And yeah, it is playing bunch of one-offs on the side deck. 1 Dark Ruler, 1 Lightning Storm, 1 Raigeki, 1 Trust, and 1 Talent. And next would be Duelist and Samarinda tournament in Indonesia. Champion would be Andra, Blue Eyes Primite, lots of Blue Eyes Primite. I think Blue Eyes Primite has been the more consistent deck out here in Southeast Asia. And next would be Friendly Rescue. Oh my goodness, it has been a while since I have seen Rescue Ace, but this Rescue Ace is really not the usual one. It's running Snake Eyes, it's running Finsmith, it's running Azamina. Oh my goodness, I wonder how he managed to fit in this deck on 42. It is even running Talent, no, and Double Imperm and the likes of Cold Buy, no. Wow, interesting stuff from Friendly. Next would be Ryan. So third place, Ryan with Snake Eyes. So a lot of people still doesn't want to give up on Snake Eyes. So much as the deck have been gutted with ban list, previous ban list, no, still sensible to play it with multitudes of engines like White Forest, Azamina, and Finsmith, not to name a few. And Wawan, fourth place with another White Forest, bunch of White Forest as well, and another Dogwood package on the side deck. I think it's really odd to see Dogwood, but it is pretty much understandable considering that the time rules are very much rigid and strict, no? So we just want to edge out our opponents with gaining life points mechanic. 24 local, wow, pretty huge. And another Order of the Duelist and Albay tournament. First would be Rizal, Kenji, Gonzalez, triple Purulia and triple Fualos. And next would be Richard Mementotlan. Another one of talent on Mementotlan like earlier. And next would be Jake Joey Gem Knights Adamantipator. Similar decklist as earlier. And third would be Angelo James Blue Ice Primite. This time, didn't opt to run the Droll or Fualos on the main deck. Instead, opted to play Purge and Nibiru. And yeah, that sums up our OCG Metagame report and decklist reviews from March 1 to March 10 in Southeast Asian regions. So if you found this video informative and helpful, please consider subscribing. It definitely motivates me a lot to keep providing this content for you guys. So once again, thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.